Welcome to the realm of intoxicating flavors and head-banging beer reviews.
Welcome to another episode of the Rare Beer Club. I'm your host, the Ginger Yeti, and if you're new to the channel, the Rare Beer Club is a subscription club put out by the beerofthemonthclub.com. I receive a box every month that contains 2 hand-selected beers, costs about $60. I box those beers and select one to review blindly, and then I review the second one in another video. I've had a lot of these beers over the years, a lot of these boxes, and sometimes I just have some random ones sitting around. I don't remember if I did an unboxing on this one or not, but it's in my fridge, had the paperwork on the magnet, so I figured I would review this beer. So this is the Westbound and Down Brewing Company from Idaho Springs, Colorado. It's a golden sour plus dry hop. Westbound and Down sounds to me like a play on that phenomenal HBO TV series with was it Kenny McBride, Eastbound and Down. Love that show. If you've never seen that show and you're kind of like a sports guy or sports gal, go check out Eastbound and Down. It's hilarious. It was a great show. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but Westbound and Down seems like a play on that. So this is the golden sour. This has a little 14 above the name plus dry hop. It's barrel-aged golden sour ale with Nelson. 1 pint, 9 fluid ounces, 6.2% alcohol by volume. A blend of 18 and 24-month-old golden sour ales aged in a variety of red wine puncheons. Dry hop with Nelson Sauvin. Idaho Springs. Not anything else on the bottle here. And the Rare Beer Club always comes with this paperwork. I always post it up somewhere. I keep playing around with where I'm going to post it. But there'll be a link somewhere where you can read the whole paperwork if you want to. So, the paperwork here says it's a barrel-aged golden sour ale, dry hop, and Nelson Sauvin, like I said, 6.2% alcohol. It's just a glassware. There's always tulip goblet or Pinot glass. I mean, they always suggest a tulip or a goblet, so I always pull a goblet. I'll read a little bit about the beer in the brewery, and then we'll get into the beer. So Westbound and Down got their start back in 2015 as a group of friends who wanted to start a brewery making high-quality beverages with deep Colorado roots. Sounds like a lot of people I know. While we had been really enjoying the few things we'd managed to sample from Westbound and Down to date, 2019 was arguably the year that this brewery established itself on the larger national beer map. At the Great American Beer Festival in 2019, the brewery took home 2 silver medals. Their Westbound Double IPA, which was using Vic Secret, Galaxy Mosaic, and Cryo Mosaic hops, took home silver in the super competitive Imperial India Pale Ale category. And Double Barrel Louis, a barrel-aged English-style barley wine aged in port-finished rye barrels and finished in Breckenridge bourbon barrels on whiskey-soaked peaches, won silver in the wood and barrel-aged strong beer category. That sounds phenomenal. I'd love to get a hold of that beer. That sounds phenomenal. A beer aged on whiskey-soaked peaches, I bet that's amazing. Westbound and Down were also named the 2019 Great American Beer Festival's Mid-Sized Brew Pub of the Year. Westbound and Down Brewing Company is based in the historic town of Idaho Springs, Colorado, in Clear Creek County. Westbound and Down's beers are all non-filtered, with fermentation serving to naturally clarify the beers. First time I've seen that the fermentation is used to naturally clarify the beers. They exclusively use pure Clear Creek County water, which is produced by Colorado's snowmelt and rain runoff and gets filtered on site, while the brewery's electrical needs are exclusively met by wind-powered resources. That's pretty cool. So the beer. Westbound and Down's Golden Sour Dry Hop is a blend of 18 and 24-month-old Golden Sours ales. I don't know if that meant Golden Sours ales. Aged in a variety of red wine puncheons, dry hopped with Nelson Sauvin. I'm not a big fan of red wine, so I might not like this beer. It pours a faintly hazy, deep golden amber with good head retention and a touch of lacing. So let's see how this pours out. Let's use my Cleveland Browns bottle opener, since we just traded Dorian Thompson-Robinson for Kenny Pickett. A little bit of a hiss there. It's got a Westbound and Down crown. I'll try to take a picture of that so you can see it better. No gun smoke to speak of. I am getting like a sour, oaky, Flanders kind of smell right off the bat. Pour it in a glass here. The aromas that came out of the glass as we poured were delightfully combination of fruity, floral, funky, and citrus. I mean, that's kind of accurate, I guess. Complemented by inviting sour notes. We detected pronounced aromas of grapefruit, lemon, and tangerine, as well as tropical aromas of passion fruit, pineapple with slightly piney tinge. There is a lot of fruit notes in there with that sour scent that's starting to make my mouth salivate. We also picked up aromas of white wine grapes. Yeah, I can pick that up. Gooseberries, I don't know about that. Nelson Sauvin hops and parts. There was a good amount of underripe apricot and yellow plum along with lightly toasty malts that gives a nice backbone to the initial citrusy and floral aromas. We also experienced a nice amount of red fruit notes from the wine puncheons with some oaky, woody aromas from the length of barrel aging that gave further deep and structure to the nose and lead the way to our anticipated first sip. I get some of the fruitiness, tropical aromas, maybe white grape. Definitely get some oakiness and that sour smell that's making me salivate. As far as the pour, I mean, that's a golden yellow color, probably along the lines of about a 2-ish on my SRM chart. Can see into the beer, but not all the way through it. And it had a soda-like head that just dissipated quickly. Yeah, definitely get that oaky, woody scent and that sour that's starting to make my mouth salivate. So let's get into the beer here. Westbound Down Golden Sour. Dry hop displays a complex and refreshing flavor profile. Up front, the tart acidity brings the citrusy notes we experienced. Definitely tart up front. A little bit effervescent. Grapefruit and tangerine remain in more subtle tone, but the tropical fruit notes combined with the stone fruit really shine. You get some tropical fruit, some stone fruit, and oak. Hints of passion fruit, apricot, and yellow plum lead in to lightly grapey flavors, which are supported by a good amount of barrel funk and light malt. I would say barrel funk. I don't know that my palate is refined enough to pick up all those fruits. It is a mix of fruits, very fruity. And you do get that oakiness, a little bit of tartness. Light field herbs also come into play, don't pick that up. As do citrus blossoms and light grassy notes. The sourness and hops sort of balance each other out. Give a well-rounded mouthfeel without being astringent and allow for an interesting and harmonious tasting experience. It is interesting and harmonious. I don't know about these field herbs or grassiness. A little bit of tartness. Lots and lots of fruits going on in there. Very complex on the fruit side. No real bitterness to speak of. A little bit of effervescence. The lengthy aging in barrels brings out a dry earthiness and a bit of tannin added to the structure and depth of flavor. It is drying, for sure. It is dry. The Westbound Down Golden Sour plus dry hop is a medium-bodied beer. Yeah, I agree with that. It drinks very easily. Agree with that too. Lively effervescent mousse, which leads to a long finish with tartness and a touch of bitterness lingering on. Each sip is very present, inviting, refreshing, and packed with flavor. Yeah. I totally agree with all that there. I mean, that is a very complex beer. Lots of different fruits in there, all melding together perfectly. A little bit of oakiness. Some tartness on the verge of sour, but the sour is not super strong. Nice mouthfeel, a little bit of effervescence. Easy to drink. Very tasty. Very drying on the back end. I mean, this is a delicious beer. I can hear the carbonation in my mouth more than I can feel it. But this is a tasty beer. Dry hop sour. I've had a few different kinds of beer that were hoppy sours or sour IPAs or whatever. This is kind of similar to that, but much better done. It's done much more well done than some of those beers. Because it's not an odd flavor. You get some of that hoppy bitterness a little bit in there, but it works well. Nice tart sourness. But it's not so tart or so sour that people that dislike sour beers would be opposed to this. I think people that aren't big sour heads could enjoy this beer. The fruit flavors are just so complex. I mean, if I had a more discerning palate, I bet you I could pick up a lot of the flavors they talk about on this paperwork. But it's just a medley of fruits. And it's really, really good. I give this beer 2 big horns up. Golden Sour Dry Hop from Westbound and Down Brewing Company. This is an excellent beer. I'd love to find some more beers of yours. Before I forget, on Untapped, this gets a 3.88, but there's only 162 check-ins. Beer Advocate was an NA. Not surprised, because a lot of these rare beer club beers are very small batch, very hard to find. But it's really fun to get these. It's fun to try these. Really enjoy this one. It's really great beer. Hope you all enjoyed my video. If you do, let me know down below. Please hit that subscribe button if you made it this far. Subscribing really helps out my channel, helps me out. And as always, embrace the adventure.